Stores April 2nd, tariffs were just announced. So we're seeing a big sell-off after hours, 3% on the S&P and SPY. We're seeing it break these lows here. So it looks like we're getting the breakdown right now. Again, we want to see if this trades much lower than that, or we want to see some conviction to that downside. Right now, it looks like we do because of those reciprocal tariffs. It might be a bit of panic selling because tariffs came in worse than expected, and so the initial target for a pullback would be probably right around 520 in the S&P on SPY if we continue to get downward pressure. And then we'll want to see does it hold up here? Does it bounce? Or do we see a conviction to the downsides where it retests and comes back down? So we're looking, this is about a year forecast on the S&P 500. So yeah, it looks like we're in a volatile, bit of volatility right now, which is mirrored also in the Qs. It's kind of the same story. We're at 456, which looks just right about at support. Watching this very carefully to see, does it slice through here, head lower, or do we have some kind of bounce because of relief rally, some news comes out, and we continue to consolidate. So the downside move looks like it's pretty much done unless we see a further conviction of breaking of this trend, long-term trend line here. And if we do get a really conviction to the downside, we'll see the 378 gap fill and also the 358 gap fill maybe at some point in the future. Again, can't really be certain as to the timing of those, but it looks like it might be in the cards. So in theory, if you kept some dry powder and treasuries and T-bills or something like that, and then you wait for all the panic selling to get out of the market, scooping up some quality names when we know that inevitably there'll be a big bounce in the Qs, maybe in this zone. If you can scoop some, start to scoop some in the lower range of 350 or so, that might be a great buying opportunity for the long haul. But time will tell, and we'll play it by ear. Yeah, we see this this here, right here is a bull flag. We see that in the chart pretty clearly, and some people are saying there's a bear flag right now. Yeah, and you can see that in the S&P, and right here, maybe this is a bear flag, a big bear flag, and then we're going to head much lower. But I guess time will tell on that one. Let's check out some other names. Hain, I talk about usually. Yeah, went down a little bit. It's still in the basing pattern that we seen. Farm up marginally. Yeah, I think farm is. If farm gets a little lower, I mean, I think it's going to be a scoop up here if you can get to that 180 level. But I mean, I don't have any position in this, but I would put some money in it now and just sleep on it, but not a lot, just a little bit. Sleep on it, and someday you'll come back and be like, surprise. TLT looks like it wants to test 95. If it tests 95, then maybe we break down or we break through with conviction. Again, my forecast for TLT is to break out. Now, timeline, I'm a little fuzzy on the timeline because I think the breakout will either happen between June of this year and maybe August of next. but yeah, that's quite a long-term horizon. So if you're not a long-term investor in the TLT, then probably want to stay away. TMF is TLT and steroids. So we did see a 3% pop today. But there are multiple gaps here to the downside, it looks like. Um, so we just want to watch this one and see what happens. Also gaps to the upside at 50.55. I think eventually we will get this gap fill at 215, which means probably a giant sell-off in the market is coming, in the S&P 500 and the Qs. So a great buying opportunity perhaps coming very soon, in those. Well, I would hope very soon, but I guess we'll watch the tape. So yeah, it looks like there may be a potential break in TMF here. If we can hold above that line there, that upper blue line, I would feel more confident in initiating a position in TMF right here. So I guess we'll see. Will this hold this kind of rally, or will it just come back down and sell off and fill whatever little gaps that exist down here? I don't know, but for now it looks like there might be more in the tank for TMF. At least in the short run, there's probably a little bit volatility in there, but TMF might be good. It's just like TLT. You might see a little pop there into the TLT to 95. So let's check out Freeport McMoran. Not much is going on in Freeport. Looks pretty like a topping pattern. I think we're probably going to see a sell-off in Freeport, just like the other metals. And people have been flocking to gold, of course, which is an extremely crowded trade. Usually gold outperforms right before a crisis. Then when the crisis hits, then gold sells off. So again, we're not in a crisis yet, but could we be in the next, let's say, 6 months to a year? It is possible. Let's check out US oil or USO, which is basically the same thing. We're in this kind of pennant formation pattern. It looks like this is coming to an end soon, so we're gonna get confirmation. Maybe this is a what they call a descending triangle, perhaps in U.S. oil, which means that we would be bearish on oil. I think that's probably where we're headed. But again, we want to see it break this line with conviction, and then we see what we can do in terms of whatever trades may be. But we want to see it break this support line. It has respected it every single time, or is it gonna break out here? Retest here and break out. Time will tell, but we should get a resolution on this pretty soon. It looks like maybe even as early as a few weeks or as late as October or so. So very interesting action on U.S. oil. Just want to keep that in our back pocket. Let's check out Nike, down 7%. No surprise because of the reciprocal tariffs. Yeah, it looks like we're breaking below, at least after hours, that bottom blue line, which means that we're probably headed even lower. Okay, so again, we'll see the price action tomorrow. After hours, we're seeing down 7% on Nike. Anything consumer discretionary, we're seeing hit almost all-time lows here. Here's Dave & Buster's. We're right in the doldrums here of the pandemic, essentially. Dave & Buster's, people are pulling back all their spending from anything that's not necessary. Let's check out food stocks, down slightly. Not much going on with food. Let's check out China. China's down a little bit marginally here, and Baba. So Baba is down a little bit. Looks like 122. I did expect it to come down because to this support level, we wanted that golden cross. So the golden cross is coming in BABA. Usually there's a sell-off right before golden cross occurs, and the golden cross occurs with some volatility, and then usually you head higher. So at some point, I do anticipate that we'll fill this gap here at 160. That's what I think will happen. So we'll see. Maybe it won't go this high, but it will go to 160. I think we'll get that. I don't know when, but I think we will get that. So I do believe that there are a lot of opportunities in this market to try to buy some beaten down names that might be quality names. So I've been watching under radar stock Co 20. Looks like we have a bull flag here, bull flag pattern, which is of course we saw the breakout. So perfect bull flag. And then looks like we might be having another bull flag here. So I would say very bullish action right now in Co. This might even head even higher. So I guess we'll watch that. That's all for today. Let the market be with you. Like, subscribe, and comment. And do take care.